Wolfwalkers, My Story, is a two-player game that I picked up in my friendly local game store without knowing anything about it, just the art looked cute, and it's a small game, meaning I was going on vacation with my family and I wanted small portable games, and this one really worked well that way because it is, in terms of complexity, very family friendly. It's a super simple game and it travels very well. This is the game. This deck of cards here, you put it in a sandwich bag, and this is the game. What you have here is cards that you use for variants in case you feel that the game becomes boring after a while. Then you play with different rules and different things available. But we actually like the basic game so much, we like the elegant simplicity of the game, that we haven't even started exploring those. I asked my family, hey, do you want to try some of the other variants? Everybody said, nope, the base game is just so cool. Which, by the way, tells you we really like it. It's a great family game. Again, 2 players only. We were on vacation and basically everybody wanted to play it, so we had like a mini tournament in which if you won a game, you won the right to play again against another challenger. So these cards have gorgeous art, which I assume comes from the movie, and they have symbols. Each art side has a different amount and combination of symbols on it, and in terms of gameplay, of course, the symbols are all that matters. On the other side, you have scoring conditions, different things that will score. The game is simplicity itself. You shuffle all the cards and then you place 4 of them art side up and 2 of them scoring side up. And there will always be that offer, exactly, and always that offer. 4 art side up and 4 scoring side up. And players will alternate taking a card. You can take either kind of card. You just take a card, and once you take it, you retain the orientation, and you place it in your personal area. The first card can go anywhere. Then, of course, they're replenished. And now, say my opponent did that. And the second card that you take and that you add needs to touch another card orthogonally. So basically, you will be forming a 5x5 grid, and it needs to be a single piece. There cannot be things like floating in space or just attached by a corner. And what you will want to do is to have a nice balance between the art side and the things that you will actually score, because at the end of the game, when everybody has a 5x5 tableau, you check and you see what things people have been able to accomplish. For example, this card is worth 8 points if there are no wolves in the same row or column in which it is. So maybe a little bit of a trick, a little bit of a hack is if you have a bunch of these scoring cards, you kind of use them to you put them very close to each other, so that helps with that. In other cases, like that one, or this one, or this one, you need to form that shape. Basically, you need to form that shape using the icons. So I'm going to have 2 villages and a castle here. These shapes can be rotated, meaning you can show that you have it in any orientation. You can even show it mirrored. It's all good. Also, you may be able to, you are allowed to score it multiple times if you have it on your tableau, as long as each card is used once for each scoring. So, for example, if I had these cards here, and I have a village and a village here, I cannot score it twice using this one twice. They have these 3, and somewhere else I have these 3 somewhere else, then that's good, as long as you count each card only once. And there are, of course, different things to score. And look, I haven't seen the movie, but I think it's quite interesting that I was able to figure out some of the situations just from the patterns that you see here. And of course, the harder one to pull off are worth more points. Other things you may score if a certain kind of symbol outnumbers another kind of symbol, these symbols being together. Again, another pattern. Things, you score 2 points here for each town that is orthogonally in the same column or row as that one. So these are some of the things that you score. The iconography is very simple, very readable. If you have equal numbers of these 2 symbols, for example, and so on and so forth. And that's the idea. I mean, gameplay is take a card, put it in your tableau, create a 5x5, and score it at the end. Simplicity itself. And yet it works so well. I think it's just, again, for a simple filler or for a travel game to play with the family. You know, some of my family members are still on the younger side, or they're not as young as they used to be. My wife is a casual gamer, but everybody fell in love. And you know that I can play more complicated games also, but I also love a good, elegant, simple, fun, light game like this one. And I just loved it. The fact that the art looks so gorgeous, of course, doesn't hurt at all. It makes for a nice experience. So you have a game which is super simple from the point of view of the procedures. Take a card, add to your tableau, and yet still has a lot of interesting things going on. And maybe in the long run, the replay value may be lowered, but also not. Meaning there are certain strategies that seem to always pay off. If you take one of these cards that allow you to score when you don't have symbols there, usually you'll be able to score them, sure. The patterns are a little tougher to score, and so this one is 8, this one is 10. Well, you know that this one is a lot easier to score than that 10. But there's only a limited number of those cards, and you may or may not get it, and so you can't just rely on the easy ones. You need to find a balance. Okay, that's good. I can do that. A balance between the easy ones and the tough ones. Another thing also that adds variety is that, remember, the cards will come out in different orientations, because this card, this side, I really want this side, may never be in play. Because my opponent does that, this card is used this way to replenish it. So overall, very simple but full of interesting decisions, nice flow, nice back and forth. I was pleasantly surprised, I would say amazed by how much fun this game is, how well it plays when it is so simple.